Have you ever had a strange, unsettling feeling about someone, but you could not explain exactly why? On the outside, they seem nice, friendly, and charming, but underneath the surface, something just feels off. It can be a very confusing and isolating experience, and it can make you doubt your own judgment. What if I told you there is a very simple test you can use in these situations? It is a test that takes only 5 seconds, and it can reveal a great deal about a person's true character. It can help you see if you are dealing with a dangerous type of person, like a psychopath. This test is not about asking a clever question. It is about creating a small moment of truth that can help you see behind the mask they wear. I am Dr. Eleanor Whitmore. I have spent more than 30 years as a psychologist studying how people behave and interact. I have learned that the most revealing moments are often the smallest ones. I am here to help you understand this simple test and how to use it to protect yourself. A psychopath is a master of disguise. They are very good at pretending to be a normal, caring, and trustworthy person. They can be the life of the party, the most supportive friend, or the most romantic partner. This is what makes them so hard to spot. But underneath this carefully crafted mask, they do not have the same feelings that most people do. They do not feel guilt when they do something wrong. They do not feel sadness for others' pain. They do not feel love in the way that a healthy person does. This emotional emptiness allows them to use, manipulate, and hurt other people without feeling bad about it. The 5-second test works because it creates a small, unexpected moment where their mask can slip. It is not a magic trick, but a simple and effective way to see how they react when they do not get what they want. A normal, healthy person might be a little disappointed or surprised, but they will generally respect your decision. A psychopath, on the other hand, will often show a quick, involuntary flash of anger, frustration, or an immediate attempt to regain control. That quick, raw reaction can tell you everything you need to know. The test is simple. You say no to a small and reasonable request. You set a small and healthy boundary, or you refuse to get pulled into their drama. Then, you silently and carefully watch their reaction for the next 5 seconds. In that short window of time, before they have a chance to put their mask back on, their true self can appear. Let's talk about how you can use this test in different real-life situations. First, let's think about your time and your energy. A psychopath often feels a strong sense of entitlement to your time. They will call you late at night, expecting you to be available. They will ask you to drop everything to help them with a non-urgent problem. They will get angry or sulk if you have other plans that do not include them. They do not see your time as yours. They see it as a resource that they have a right to. To use the 5-second test in this situation, you can set a simple, polite boundary. For example, imagine a friend who you suspect might be a psychopath calls you while you are busy with work or family. They want to talk for a long time about their latest drama. Instead of automatically saying yes, you can calmly and firmly say, "I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I'm in the middle of something." Now, start your 5-second clock and observe. A normal, respectful friend would say something like, "Oh, okay, no problem. Talk to you later." They respect that you have your own life and your own responsibilities. A psychopath's reaction will be very different. In those first 5 seconds, you might see a flash of anger or irritation in their eyes. Their friendly tone might instantly disappear and be replaced by a cold silence. They might say something designed to make you feel guilty, like, "I thought you were my friend," or "Fine, I see how it is, and guess I'll just have to deal with this alone." They are not sad that you are busy. They are angry that you are not doing what they want. They are angry that they are not in control of you. That quick flash of anger, that sudden coldness, is the mask slipping. It is a glimpse of the real person underneath, who sees you not as a friend, but as an object to be used for their own needs. Another example is making plans. Let's say a family member expects you to spend your entire weekend with them every weekend. You can use the test by saying, I would love to come over for a few hours on Saturday, but I have other plans on Sunday. A healthy family member would be happy to see you on Saturday and would respect your need for your own time. A psychopath, however, might become cold and distant. They might try to make you feel bad by saying, oh, so your other plans are more important than your family. They are not genuinely hurt. They are trying to punish you for daring to have a life outside of their control. They want you to feel guilty so that you give in and do what they want. The 5-second test, in this case, shows you that their affection and niceness are conditional. They are only there when you are being compliant and useful to them. Second, let's talk about your attention. A psychopath has a deep and desperate need to be the center of attention all the time. In a group setting, they will dominate the conversation, talking constantly about themselves, their accomplishments, and their problems. If someone else starts talking, they will often interrupt, change the subject back to themselves, or try to top the other person's story. They need everyone in the room to be looking at them and listening to them. You can use the 5-second test here by gently and politely redirecting the attention. Imagine you are with a group of people, and one person has been talking about their own life for a very long time without asking anyone else a single question. You can wait for them to take a breath and then say, "That's really interesting. I'd love to hear what John thinks about that." Then for the next 5 seconds, watch the person who was talking. A normal, socially aware person would be happy to let someone else speak. A psychopath will look visibly annoyed. They might shoot a glare at you or at John. They might immediately interrupt John as soon as he starts talking. They cannot handle the spotlight being off of them, even for a minute. That quick look of anger or irritation is very telling. It shows that their friendly conversation was not about connecting with others. It was about being the star of a one-person show. You can also try this by not giving them your full and immediate attention. If they walk into a room while you are reading a book, watching a movie, or looking at your phone, do not immediately look up and greet them. Continue what you are doing for just a few moments longer. A healthy person will wait patiently or say, "Excuse me," or simply start doing something else until you are free. A psychopath will often get visibly upset. They might make a loud noise like clearing their throat or sighing dramatically to get your attention. They might walk over and stand right in front of you, blocking your view. They might even say something passive-aggressive like, "Am I bothering you?" in a cold and demanding voice. They feel ignored, and they cannot stand it. Their bottomless need for attention is so strong that even a few seconds of being ignored feels like a deep personal insult to them. Third, let's talk about your feelings and your emotional energy. And psychopaths are often described as emotional vampires. They seem to feed on other people's feelings, especially negative ones like fear, anger, and sadness. They love to create drama and chaos because it makes them feel powerful and in control. They will start arguments over nothing, spread rumors to turn people against each other, or create problems that only they can solve. They will have a big emotional outburst and they will expect you to drop everything to calm them down and fix their feelings. To use the 5-second test in this situation, you must refuse to play their game. For example, if a person you know is throwing a fit because something small and insignificant did not go their way, do not try to soothe them. Do not get drawn into their manufactured anger. Instead, you can say in a very calm, quiet, and neutral voice, "I can see that you are very upset. I am going to give you some space to calm down." Then, watch them for 5 seconds. A normal person, even when they are angry, will eventually calm down. They might even appreciate that you did not make the situation worse by arguing with them. A psychopath will often get even angrier. They might scream, "You don't care about me," or "You are just going to leave me like this." They are not looking for a solution to their problem. They are looking for a reaction from you. They want you to get upset. They want your emotional energy. When you refuse to give it to them, they get frustrated and desperate, and their true ugly self comes out. Another way they do this is by trying to bait you into an argument. They will say something mean, insulting, or untrue about you just to get a rise out of you. They want you to defend yourself. They want you to get angry. Instead of falling into their trap, you can simply say, "I am not going to argue with you about this." A healthy person might be frustrated, but they will likely respect your choice to end the conversation. A psychopath will often push harder. They will say even meaner and more outrageous things. They are trying to find your emotional buttons and push them until you break. Your calm refusal to fight back takes away their power and their fun, and it exposes their desperate need to create conflict. Fourth, let's talk about your things and your money. Psychopaths often feel that they have a right to other people's property and resources. They will borrow things and never return them. They will ask for money and never pay it back. They see what is yours as theirs for the taking. You can use the 5-second test by setting a firm but polite boundary around your resources. If a friend who you think might be a psychopath asks to borrow a significant amount of money, you can say, "I'm sorry, but I have a personal rule not to lend money." Now, watch their reaction for 5 seconds. A normal friend would understand and respect your decision. They would not want to put you in a difficult or uncomfortable position. A psychopath might get instantly angry. They might say, "I can't believe you won't help me out. I thought we were friends." They might try to make you feel guilty or selfish. They are not sad that they are not getting the money. They are angry that you have denied them something they feel they are entitled to. Their reaction shows that they do not see you as a friend. They see you as a resource to be used. The reason the 5-second test is so powerful is because it is quick, simple, and unexpected. A psychopath spends their entire life wearing a mask and playing a role. They are very, very good at it, but it takes a lot of mental energy to keep that mask on at all times. When you suddenly say no or set a boundary, you catch them off guard. For a few seconds, they do not have time to think about how a normal, healthy person would react. In that moment, their real, raw feelings, their anger, their frustration, their sense of entitlement, flash across their face or come out in their tone of voice. This is the real person behind the mask. It is a very small crack in their carefully constructed performance, but it tells you everything you need to know. After you see this reaction, it is very important what you do next. And do not back down. If you say no, and then they get angry, and then you get scared and change your mind and say yes, you have just taught them a very dangerous lesson. You have taught them that getting angry is a good and effective way to get what they want from you. You have to be strong and hold your boundary. You said no, and the answer is no. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to apologize. No is a complete sentence. After their quick flash of anger, they will often try another tactic. They might try to make you feel guilty, or they might suddenly become very nice and charming again, trying to trick you into changing your mind. Do not fall for it. The test has already shown you the truth. The person you are dealing with does not respect you. They only want to control you. I also want to mention something very important. After you use this test, do not tell the person what you are doing. Do not say, "I just tested you and you failed." That will only make them angry and more focused on controlling you. The test is for your information only. It is a private tool that helps you see the truth. Keep what you learn to yourself and use it to make quiet, smart decisions about your life and your safety. It is also worth saying that one failed test does not automatically mean someone is a psychopath. Everyone can have a bad day. Everyone can react badly to being told no once in a while. Or the key is the pattern. And that if you use this test many times in many different situations and you keep seeing the same angry, controlling, and guilt-tripping reactions, that is when you know you have a real problem. One bad reaction is a yellow flag. A pattern of bad reactions is a bright red flag. Using this test can be scary at first, especially if you are a kind person who does not like to disappoint others, but it is a very important tool for your emotional and physical safety. It helps you see the truth about people, not based on their charming words, but on their real reactions. And once you see the truth, you can make better, safer decisions about who you allow to have a place in your life. If you use this test and you see these negative, angry, and controlling reactions again and again, it is a very strong sign that you are dealing with a dangerous person. Your best and safest option is to create as much distance as possible. Protecting your peace, your sanity, and your well-being is far more important than being nice to someone who wants to harm you. Thank you for listening.